And with that, we'll move to our last talk before the lunch break. And let me welcome on stage right now, Tommy Neumann. He's giving a talk on Ready for Future, not Friday for Future, as I said before. That will also be a very interesting topic, but no, it's Ready for Future. Tommy Neumann is from Neumann and Ritter, and he will be presenting the Erasmus Plus project, Ready for Future. Tommy, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie. Am I live right now? Perfect. Yes, first a huge thank you to you, Stephanie, to Mr. Randall Greenlee, to Mr. Simon Rath in the background, and everyone from the Tabletop project, and who is involved in organizing and putting together this wonderful event. For myself and on behalf of our project team, it's an honor to present our small Erasmus Plus project, Ready for Future. On this stage in front of a European audience, very good to see and feel that Europe and the event industry and education experts are coming together on this platform. Well, what is behind our little project, Ready for Future? It's a 1-year Erasmus Plus project concentrated on vocational education and training, a strategic partnership which tackles one basic core question, and that is, how can self-employed people in the event industry be strengthened and promoted in a targeted manner through the acquisition of skills and professional qualifications? So we talk about the self-employed in our European focus, the freelancers, Solo-Selbstständige. In Germany, we also use the term Selbstständige Einzelunternehmer, SEU. In Austria, ein Personenunternehmen, one-person companies. In Liechtenstein, Einzelfirma, self-standing professionals in the Netherlands. Well, and that's not the end of the list. And we talk about the event industry, a highly diversified sector with so many different services and professions, as Mr. Greenlee already showed us so wonderfully. From the cultural arts and performance sector to event managers, planners, event technicians, people working in the leisure or entertainment or straight business context, private or public, from catering to all kinds of different services. Often in a different context with changing requirements, performing various service roles with a variety of different clients in different sectors. So brief, it's not easy to define and mark down these two terms we're talking about. A famous modern German philosopher wrote a bestseller named Who Am I? And if so, how many? Well, that sounds familiar when thinking about the self-employed and the event industry, but well, okay, I mean, challenge accepted. Second challenge, well, not a surprise at all, but totally honest, when we talked about our target group and the sector last year in March, while thinking about designing a project, focusing on the educational support, as we already were influenced by the current situation. Of course, a shock to the industry facing a lockdown, but our basic thinking was still, we're going to overcome it quite quickly, start again with taking some learnings and already concentrate on our joyful reopening plans. When our project officially started half a year later, thanks to the agency, of all at the latest in October, November 2021, we finally recognized for sure this project is now an open heart surgery that started 8 months ago, and that end of it is not foreseeable. There are some lights of hope with a quick view across the big pond. Days ago, the New York Philharmonic performed their first live indoor concert after 400 days of lockdown. But on the other hand, and that is the brutal truth, also in the run-up to this event today, we received numerous voices from industry players that just do not see a future. So we operate out of a permanent crisis mode and pretty sure into some kind of a new normal. With these two challenges in our backpack, we now talk about the future of skills and qualifications. So the future of learning. The current situation is unsure like it never was before for the still quite young event industry, and we are entering unsafe territory, and the time now and the new normal will challenge us. It will challenge us more than ever. So how to build resilience for the sector and for the people in the sector? It's just, we believe it starts very often through best practice at the local level. Dynamic and unstable processes emerge because creative solutions are in demand. And these are already developed and will continue to be developed. And that's the way we will build resilience, real resilience. What a great chance it is now to have a little project like this connecting through Europe, exchanging best practice and our thoughts and thinking, and asking us the same questions. That is a value in itself that cannot be underestimated. We open a common European thinking space. So who is involved in this project and tries to give an answer to this? It's a partnership that runs through the Netherlands, Belgium, Liechtenstein, Austria, and Germany. It's about 8 organizations, including academies for vocational education training, industry associations, and organizations that focus on education, labor market, and further economic questions. These 8 are the core of the project group. It's a strong and highly motivated partnership, but the goal is to create an even larger network out of this project. In the last weeks, we got together, connected, and shared ideas and solutions through different online event formats, invited experts to discussion groups, designed seminars and a workshop day, and still believe we have the chance to meet in person during summer and by the end of the project in September this year. Events like this today are highlights to get connected and to talk about the important topics in education, future education, with a European perspective. Just quick how we do it. Let's have a quick look into the machinery of our project management and how we work together. We follow the motto, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's kind of our mantra. Of course, we had and have to work in a digital space, using and testing different tools, but also because of this circumstances, introducing different formats. We introduced Kaminabende, meetings around the digital campfire, to stay in touch regularly and to invite people from the industry to have a discussion with us, usually concentrated around one topic, and to give partners in the consortium the chance to meet the industry and to get in touch with practitioners. Online makes it easier for us to invite experts. The availability of interesting talking guests is suddenly there if you don't have to travel or even stay overnight. That helps us to create events smaller, but just a little bit like this today. The next one, end of May, will be focused on 21st century skills and building resilience. The chance to get in touch with the network of each single partner is also very important to us. And there's also an advantage these days. For example, I know the BFM now for the last 3 years, but through having the chance to attend their digital events with their partners, stakeholders, and network, the last half a year, I really got to know them and their work even better, followed by the great chance to connect our interests better. Good documentation, of course, is very important, also when you want to filter some qualified results or out of your discussions. And I think most of us experience this as well. It's very time consuming to be well prepared in the digital working space. So, talking about topics and results, well, this is just a quick overlook of the topics we touch through our project. Not all of them have the same priority for us, but it's important to keep them in mind and don't get lost in the ivory tower. This project landscape is still more like a puzzle, and pieces are missing or just not touched throughout our project right now, but we did not talk so much about certification so far. But after this event today, and with the learnings and ideas we gained from Professor Brown and all of the speakers said to this point, we will bring it into our project and start a discussion. That's what I'm going to promise. This overview helps us to, for example, to differentiate between the talents in our sector who wants to be entrepreneurs and choose being self-employed to start their own company or service, and those for whom it is an economic reality. They did not choose this form of work. It's just the only way they can get work in their field and their profession. It is totally different in the way we have to pick both of these target groups up with our trainings and support. Is it more empowerment? Is it career guidance? Is it basic business skills training or an entrepreneur workshop? This is just one example, but you get an idea how lively and complex our projects discussions can get. In the bottom right corner, you see certification. So far, as I said, we did not tackle this in our project, but with a sharp look to our people and talents in the industry, how the industry itself functions and its specific features, I think it's a clear case that we should adapt qualification and certification to the need and characteristic of our people and not the other way around. So, well, now some of the project more detailed observations so far. Let's concentrate on the positive challenges, developments, and facts. Like during the crisis, a tremendous sectoral politicization has taken place. We already heard about it. Through Europe, new alliances build up, like in Germany, for example, Forum Veranstaltungswirtschaft movements like Alarmstufe Rot, red alert. We have these energetic movements inside the sector, but it also shines to the outside, which is very important. We are seen and recognized, and people and politicians realize how important and huge our sector is. It is not a day overnight success, not a sprint, but a marathon. And it's a much needed process. And also the result out of it, that better market research is necessary, and it is already started. Again, for example, in Germany with the survey Zähl dazu, that is already running, and we're very excited about these results. As I said, this is a progress that's much needed. Yeah, and I think it helps us to find out this philosophical question, who am I, and if so, how many? Well, just some more mentions. Green and digital, as already heard, is not the future, it is the reality. We are dealing with it every day. Cornerstones of the EU Next Generation program, and it's not a discussion anymore, it's a reality. We detect a lot of best practices that emerge from the crisis. Like one example is the Field Lab events in the Netherlands. Field Lab events is an initiative of the entire event industry, from corporate to public events and from culture to sports. And with the approach that makes it really possible to reopen again. Talents in our sector are highly wanted by other sectors, simply because most of them are very high skilled and intrinsically motivated. The flexibility makes the transition to other sectors very likely. Also, the social security they got offered. Of course, this is a challenge to our sector. We have to find better answers to this, and the question, where are the professionals we need when we want to start reopening, is in the room. Talking about our people, we take a deeper look on their actual skill set. Very interesting how the so-called 21st century skills are already implemented in a lot of our talents. Of course, there are gaps, and we have to take a deep look in every of these 4 dimensions, but it was amazing to find out through the discussions with practitioners how they already implemented major parts of the skill set. So in the project, we also want to challenge educational institutions and even the industry with these 4 dimensions, asking them and us, why are these 4 dimensions important to us and how we can promote them. Now, talking about qualification, we had the chance to get to know a lot of innovative projects, companies, and motivated people that showed us how art-based and theater-based and situational learning can produce great learning outcomes and experiences. Also, trainings and concepts in new settings, highly interactive, collaboration concentrated, that amplified one thing: learning can be intuitional and fun. As I already mentioned, we did not start to look on certification in detail, but this platform today is a wonderful kickoff for the next phase in our project, Ready for Future, and we are excited about the impulse. So just the last slide. Just checked if I'm still on time. What results do we expect out of our project? Well, first, the documentation of our process and our own learning, and if best, a little guideline for self-employed talents, maybe even the industry, and pretty sure for institutions in the vocational education and training in our sector. Second, through our work, we want to continue to build a stronger network, a European network, and find a sustainable way to stabilize it. Third, out of our widespread topic areas, we want to identify specific needs, understand them better, and then, as a follow-up out of this process, create concepts and maybe even new projects for the future. The Next Generation Erasmus program set an optimistic framework for this idea. Well, thank you again very much. And most important, if you want to get connected, please feel free to do so. And you see just all our partners that are involved. To be honest, it's not all of them because the list is very, very long, but please take the chance and connect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tommy, for that excellent presentation. Very interesting project. We already have some questions for you. I will directly start. Dear Tommy, many thanks for your presentation. To which extent do you consider certifications to be useful for self-employed professionals in the sector?
Well, to be honest, in our sector, one thing that is missing is time. Or I would say we have maybe we have time, but that is, as somebody like Chris would say, when we come as an event technician to an event, we are in the build-up, and then we have some time. And in the time, maybe 2, 3, or 4 days during the festival, maybe we have time in this time frame to do something else. Maybe get on our little digital platform and do some learning. And after that, we are highly concentrated in building it back down and putting it into the trunk of our big cars, and then go to the next location to start it again. So you have these I would say special time frames where you can learn and where you have time, and that might be a good chance for our people to use that. And micro credentials, small courses online could be a help by doing this.
Thank you, Tommy. I think we have time for one more question. This one is more for me than for you, but the other one, in your opinion, what can the EU do to support professionals in the event industry?
Well, what the EU can do, I think the other way around right now. We have to get more connected, every one of us, to the EU. And that is something you can do. Sometimes it's a bit tough because we are lost in a very technical language that makes it difficult to connect. But just try to give that European idea a chance by getting connected through borders. It doesn't have to be a project, but just on a as I said, on best practice for me starts on a local level. And just if you have a friend in France or somewhere, just ask him how they do it. And so it sounds a little bit like heroic, but I would like say it is on us to come to that European level, and don't ask the EU to do great things for us. So sorry, we have to do something.
Totally agree. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was really interesting, a very nice project, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. So, some of you of the audience asked if all the sessions will be available afterwards. Yes, all the sessions will be available in a few days on our website, tbwatt.eu, and you will also receive an email with the information as soon as they are available. So you can watch anything. In case you missed it or you want to rewatch it, it will be online.